What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? It's 1987 Mastermind. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the stimulus. Yep. Obama promised. You know about the stimulus bill that was passed in February of 2009. The Recovery Act, I think. I don't know exactly the full name of it. Now, one of the things Obama promised was that if they passed the which they did, the stimulus. That's what everybody calls it, the stimulus bill. I call it the porculus bill because it wasn't a stimulus; it was a spending bill. Let's be honest. To his favorite Democratic constituents. Let's be honest. He promised that unemployment wouldn't go above 8% if the stimulus was passed. All right. As everybody knows, unemployment is now at 9.6%. Not only that, and originally they projected GDP, which is to be at like 2.5%. Now they had to revise it. It's now at like 1 point something percent. Right? So stimulus isn't working. You know what? Guess what, people? Another stimulus. How about that? Another stimulus. Whoa, that's going to work? Right. That's not going to work, my friend. At a time of now. Look, now I'm not against infrastructure. I'm not against us building our roads or any of that stuff. It's in the Constitution that we build our roads, the general welfare, But in a time of a recession, we got to cut down, and we got to give the money to the employers, the small business owners. We got to fuel the engine. Let me give you a metaphor. For instance, when you're running out of gas, you don't drive more. You fill it up with more gas. And that's what we got to do. We got to fuel the private sector. And we're just not doing that. Yeah. Anyways, I just want to tell you, so Obama wants another stimulus. I'm going to read it to you guys. This is from the AP. Vowing to find new ways to stimulate the sputtering economy, President Barack Obama will call for a long-term investments in the nation's roads, railways, runways that could cost at least $50 billion. Now, who's going to work mostly on those roads? It's going to be government workers. It's not going to be private sector. You know what I'm saying? These are not going to stimulate the economy. They may create some jobs and some stimulus. But we want the economy to be fueled. We've got to have long-term growth. And guess what? Most of the growth from the economy comes from the private sector. Small business owners. The people who go and run those mom and pop shops, those restaurants, construction companies, computer companies. Those are the people that create real jobs. Right? Now, again, I just want to reiterate, I'm not against infrastructure spending, but it's just now not the time. You know what I'm saying? The infrastructure investments continuing the article, are one part of the package of targeted proposals the White House is expected to announce. Targeted proposals, yeah, right. In hopes of jump-starting the economy ahead of November election. Obama will outline the infrastructure proposal Monday and Labor Day event in Milwaukee. While proposals call for investments over 6 years, the White House said spending would be front-loaded with an initial $50 billion to create jobs in the near future. Now, here's my question. Why can't we just... This is what I would do. This is what I don't understand. Why can't we just use the rest of the stimulus money that we have right now? Why don't we just take $50 billion out of the stimulus so we're not wasting money? It's money that we already spent. It's money that we didn't spend yet, and we have. Why don't we take that money and spend it? You see, that's just what I would do. Take the rest of the stimulus, targeted tax cuts for everyone, not just the rich like the liberals claim. Tax cuts for every income level. Because, anyway. Anyways, let's continue the article. The goals of infrastructure include rebuilding 150 miles of roads, constructing and maintaining 4,000 miles of railways. any of these things, how many times I've seen in my neighborhood. I live in Brooklyn, New York. You know how many times I've seen that they claim they're going to build stuff, and I see these things being built all over the city. They never finished. Never. And it creates a massive inconvenience. I mean, for instance, if anybody's been in Brooklyn, around the Midwood area, they're doing construction on the Q lines and the B lines. So they skip all these stops, and it's so annoying. You know what I mean? Look, I'm not against construction. I think it's better. But now we need jobs, my friend. We need jobs, my friend. And the way to do it is to give more money to people. Let people keep more of their money. Let them spend it. Let them take risks. Also largely the economy relies on consumer confidence, consumer spending. If people are confident, they're not nervous. People are so uncertain because of all these taxes and regulations and all these things. They're not sure what to do. The first stimulus didn't work. Now, this is my question. If you were so confident in the stimulus bill, why spend more money on another stimulus? If my memory serves me correct, there was tons of infrastructure spending in that stimulus bill. I remember hearing on MSNBC Rachel Maddow, they were trying to rebuild a mall or something like that, or a road. That's going to create jobs. So, the first time it was supposed to create jobs, why do it again? You know what I mean? I don't understand. To me, they should stop that stimulus, give that money back to every single American. That's it. Freeze the stimulus, stop all its projects, and give it to the small businesses, give it to the entrepreneurs, the hardworking people that get out there every day. That's going to fuel the economy. And look, tax cuts work. They work. And look what happened with Bush. You got to realize the economy under Bush, up until 2007 when the Democrats took over, the economy was great. Got jobs every month, 400,000, 300,000, 400,000 jobs. Unemployment was around 5.2%. At one point, it was below 5%. And look, I'm not trying to defend the Bush administration. I mean, there's some things I disagreed with Bush, and there's some things I disagreed with. So, that's not to say. You know what I mean? So let's continue this. The goals of the infrastructure. I read that. Okay, Obama will also call for creation of a permanent infrastructure bank that would focus on funding national and infrastructure projects. Administration officials wouldn't say that the total cost of the infrastructure investment would be, but they did say the initial $50 billion responds to a significant percentage. Officials said that the White House would consider closing a number of special tax breaks for oil and gas companies to pay for proposal. So that, I don't know if that's so bad, but Obama made infrastructure investments an essential part of his $814 billion stimulus. I thought it was 787, but that's okay. Passed last year. See, I just said that. Didn't he have that in his last bill? Why would he need it again? Does that make any sense to you? I'm telling you. And look at unemployment. The last 2 months, we lost 100,000 jobs each month. The stock market's going up and down, up and down, up and down. The economy is on its back. People are uncertain. What we got to do is create certainty. Renew the Bush tax cuts, okay, first of all. And I would contend, I heard some small business owners saying this, I was watching it on the news, they would lower it even more, and I would do it too. A tax holiday for businesses, a payroll, let's say, I think business, or I would do that. I would do a tax holiday with capital gains, so people don't have to pay taxes on their investments. I would do a tax holiday for both that the only small businesses have to pay. Dividends and all these other things, temporarily, obviously. Do that, Okay, I want to explain. This is something very crucial. Another fallacy when it comes to the economy. Now, the typical liberal argument, is, you know what? The Bush tax cuts made, were for the rich, and Wall Street run amok, and they stole from all the so-called middle class, and it was Bush's fault, and Bush tax cuts created a deficit, and that isn't true. Not at all. It was caused, and obviously, and I'm not going to be a partisan hack over here, and I'm going to say that, both parties are to blame. Both parties screwed up. Okay? But it was largely the Democrats. And I'm going to go into this more. I'm going to really get into the real beef, and I'm going to discuss this in my next video about this whole idea with the economy. Who really caused the economic crisis? There's a video called "Burning Down the House," and I don't know exactly. I'm going to do some more research on that. But they tell you that it's a YouTube video. Who really caused this crisis? Now, what was the root cause of this crisis? Right? The housing bust. Right? Housing market failed. The stock market went to like about 7,000 points at one point. Right? Now, how did the economy really go awry? In 1977, President Jimmy Peanut Farmer Carter, okay, he passed something called the Community Redevelopment Act, CRA loans, which gave loans to people that could not afford them. Now, if you have $50,000 in the bank, are you going to spend money and you put money on the house that's cost you $2 million? That's what people did. By government fiat, they basically forced banks to give loans to people that couldn't afford them, which were funneled through by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, a government subsidized program, which was largely pushed further in the Clinton administration. Okay? And guess what? They fixed the books on this, on the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and Barack Obama was the #1 recipient of bonuses for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. In fact, this is old news, my friend. This is talking about 2008, but a lot of people don't know this, okay? Obama, lawyer of Acorn, okay, sued Citibank for not giving loans to minorities. In fact, Acorn would stand in front of banks, intimidating them, forcing them to give them loans. One of Obama's top economic advisors was responsible for Fannie Mae. He was the chairman of Fannie Mae, Jamie Gorelick. Alright, so largely, the economic downturn was caused by Obama and the Democrats, Clinton and Carter. Community Reinvestment Act of 1977 further pushed. Look up these videos, I'm telling you. If you're open-minded, I don't care what part, if you're an open-minded person, you'll say, holy crap, we just elected the same people that screwed us in the first place. Okay? Look, my friend. Government doesn't create jobs. It destroys them. It takes away liberty. It takes away freedom. That's what it does. The only thing that stimulates the economy is people. Me and you. Me and you. Us. We stimulate the economy. Hard-working Americans who get out there every single day and they work their ass off and they do their best. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I know this is the best video in the world, but I just wanted to rant a little, By the way, if anybody's watching, look, I really would, everybody, there's this guy I met from YouTube. I'm not going to say his name. I forgot his YouTube name, but if you're listening, by the way, if you're here to watch this video, please, if you know any military guy, U.S. military guys, tell them to watch the memorial video, because I really, I really thought it was when I watched it, and I was listening to the part where I played the God Bless the USA. It's awesome stuff, and I think any of you guys who are military guys who have military people in your family would love it, enjoy it like anything. Yep. All right, guys. It's coming up to the high holiday, so I will not be uploading anything until at least next week. At least till Sunday night or maybe Saturday night. So, yep. All right, people. Toodles.